Hi students, good afternoon everybody. So in this video, let us see our first supplementary, God Sees the Truth But Waits, written by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, now let us see about the author Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was born on September 9, 1828 in Tula province, Russia. So he was born in 1828, in the year 1828, September 9 in Tula province in Russia. He is best known for the novels War and Peace, which was written in 1869, and Anna Karenina 1877, often cited as pinnacles of realist fiction. Okay, so his best known novels were War and Peace, which was written in 1869, and Anna Karenina, written in 1877, often cited as pinnacles of realist fiction. Cited means so which is an often given example for Leo Tolstoy's work. Okay, as pinnacles of realist fiction. So fiction means stories or novels or events that were not real. That is called as fiction, fictitious stories. Okay, so the stories or novels or events which is not real is called as fiction. Okay, so he is famous for his novels War and Peace and Anna Karenina. So he first achieved literary acclaim in his 20s with his semi-autobiographical trilogy Childhood, Boyhood and Youth, and Sevastopol sketches based upon his experiences in the Crimean War. Okay, so he first achieved literary acclaim. Acclaim means an appreciation. Okay, so he first achieved literary acclaim in his 20s, that is during his 20s age, that is 20th age, or from 20 to 29. 20s with his semi-autobiographical trilogy. So tri means three. So a group of three novels is called as trilogy. So the three novels were Childhood, Boyhood and Youth. Okay, so he first achieved literary acclaim. So he first got appreciation for his literary work for this trilogy, that is Childhood, Boyhood and Youth, and these were his semi-autobiographical. So what is biography? When we write about others' life history, it is called as biography, and when we write about ourselves, it is called as autobiography. Okay, and Sevastopol sketches based upon his experiences in the Crimean War, and he had written Sevastopol sketches, the novel Sevastopol sketches, based upon his experiences in the Crimean War. So Crimean War is one of the war which took place in Russia. Tolstoy's fiction includes dozens of short stories and several novellas. Okay, so Tolstoy's fiction, so all his fiction includes dozens of short stories and several novellas. Novellas means novels such as The Death of Ivan Ilyich in 1886, Family Happiness and Haji Murad. Okay, so these were his fictions. He also wrote plays and numerous philosophical essays. Besides this, he had also written many plays and numerous and many other philosophical essays. So Tolstoy died on November 20, 1910 in Astapovo, Russia. So he died in November 20, 1910. Okay, so he was born in 1828 and was died in 1910 at Russia. Now let us see what he had said in this story. So God sees the truth but waits. So what does mean by God sees the truth but waits? So as usual, we can realize the meaning of the title in the end of the story. Okay, now if you are punished for a prank your classmate played, how would you react to the situation? Okay, so if you are punished for a prank, so what does mean by prank? Some joke or some mischievous act done by your classmate, that is by your friends. So if you are getting punishment for your friend, for the mistake committed by your friend, how would you react to the situation? So how you will be reacting in that situation? You can write your own views in that lines. Okay, so while many would seek vengeance or feel sorry for themselves, some may put their trust in God, forgive others for the wrongs done to them, and move on in life. So, what is your take on this? Discuss. Okay. So, while many would seek vengeance, vengeance means revenge. Okay, so while many would seek vengeance or feel sorry for themselves, some may put their trust in God. So some persons may be taking revenge for the others' act, others' mistake, or whatever it is. Some persons may feel sorry for it, and some may put their trust in God. So some will be just putting all those in the trust of God. So let us see what happens, or what the punishment does the God gives, like that. Okay, forgive others for the wrong done to them and move on in life. And some may forgive others for the wrongs done to them, that is the wrongs done to them, and move on in life, and just they won't care about it, and they'll be keeping on moving in their life. So what is your take on this? So how you will be reacting for this? Discuss. Okay, it is nothing but if someone is committing something, okay, and if you are getting the punishment for that, so what you may think, think that you should take a vengeance against them, or some other persons may think that they will just feel sorry for that. Some may simply put the trust in God, and some may forgive others for the wrong things done to them and keep on moving in the life. They won't bother about it. So what is your take on this? What is your opinion about this? So how will you take this? Okay, now let us get into the story. Okay, so here is a story about faith, forgiveness, freedom, and acceptance of a young merchant named Aksinov, who was sent to prison for a crime he did not commit. Okay, so this story deals with the young merchant named Aksinov. Okay, so Aksinov is the name of the young merchant. Okay, so who was sent to prison? So Aksinov was sent to prison for a crime that he did not commit. So he had not committed that he had not committed that crime, but he was put in the prison for the mistake which he has not done. Okay, now let us see what is in this story. Okay. So in the town of Vladimir lived a young merchant named Ivan Mitrich Aksinov. He had 2 shops and a house of his own. Okay, so Aksinov is living in a town called Vladimir. Okay, so he is a young merchant. His full name is Ivan Mitrich Aksinov. Okay, he had 2 shops and a house of his own. So he is having 2 shops and a house in his own. Aksinov was a handsome, fair-haired, curly-headed fellow, full of fun and very fond of singing. So what type of person Aksinov is? He was a handsome. Okay, so he was good looking, fair-haired, curly-headed. So curly-headed means it is not meaning that his head is curled. Okay, so it is his hair is curled, that is he has curly hair, full of fun. So he is just a funny fellow and very fond of singing, and he was very much interested in singing. When quite a young man, he had been given to drink and was riotous when he had had too much. But after he married, he gave up drinking except now and then. So when quite a young man, so he was a young merchant. When quite a young man, he had been given to drink. Okay, so he had fallen into the habit of drinking, that is consuming liquors. Okay, he had been given to drink and was riotous when he had had too much. Okay, so when he had drunk too much, he will be uncontrollable. So he will be riotous. So he will be behaving violently when he had taken too much of drinks. Okay, but after he married, he gave up drinking, but after the marriage he gave up drinking, that is he stopped drinking except now and then. So he might be taking only now and then, so he'll be not continuously drinking always. One summer Aksinov was going to the Nizhny fair, and as he bade goodbye to his family, his wife said to him, Ivan Mitrich, do not start today. I have had a bad dream about you. Okay, one summer, so during a day in a summer, Aksinov was going to the Nizhny fair. So Nizhny is the name of the fair. Okay, so fair means Sunday. Okay, so he was going to Nizhny fair, and as he bade goodbye, so he is telling bidding goodbye to his family members. So his wife said to him, so at the time his wife is telling, whose wife? Aksinov's wife is telling to Aksinov, Ivan Mitrich, do not start today. So don't start today. So don't go today to the fair, Nizhny fair, because I have had a bad dream about you. Because I had a bad dream about you. I dreamt a bad dream. So don't start today. Don't go to fair today. Okay. So Aksinov laughed and said, you are afraid that when I get to the fair, I shall go on a spree. Okay. So Aksinov laughed. So he is smiling. He is laughing and he is telling, you are afraid that when I get to the fair, so when I go to the fair, I shall go on a spree. So spree means indulging in something actively in an unrestrained way. Okay, so spree means involving. Okay, involving in something very actively in an unrestrained, so without any control. Okay, in an unrestrained manner. That is called as, so doing something in an uncontrollable manner or unrestricted manner. That is called as spree. So his wife is afraid that when he gets to the fair, that is when he goes to the fair, he shall behave on a spree. That is, he will be acting in the fair in an unrestrained manner. Okay, so she was afraid, and so she is telling that you should not start today, and because I have had a bad dream about you. His wife replied, I do not know what I am afraid of. All I know is that I had a bad dream. So his wife is telling, I don't know why I am afraid of, but all I have to say is I had a bad dream, so you should not go today. I dreamt you returned from the town, and when you took off your cap, I saw that your hair was quite grey. Okay, so her dream is when you returned from that is when Aksinov returns from the Nizhny fair, that is when he returns from the town, and when he takes off his cap from his head, his hair is looking fully grey. Grey means that is his hair is completely white colored. So when one gets a grey hair, when one becomes aged, they will be getting grey hair. So she is telling that I had a dream. In the dream, when you returned from the fair, your hair is just looking very grey. Aksinov laughed. That's a lucky sign, said he. So Aksinov is laughing and he is replying that, oh, then it might be definitely a lucky symbol, lucky sign. See, if I don't sell out all my goods and bring you some presents from the fair. Okay, see, if I don't sell out all my goods. Okay, see, he is replying that. So, see, I am going to sell all my goods in the fair and I will bring you some presents when I return from the fair. So Aksinov is telling to his wife. So he said goodbye to his family and drove away. So by telling that, he is telling bye to his family and he is driving away to the fair. When he had travelled halfway, he met a merchant whom he knew, and they put up at the same inn for the night. They had some tea together and then went to bed in adjoining rooms. Okay. So when he had travelled halfway, so when he had reached halfway, he met a merchant whom he already knew, and they put up at the same inn for the night. So and on the way, they inn means a place for staying or a place for accommodation. Okay, so on the way they are seeing inn, and both of them are stopping their travel, and they are just staying in the same inn for that night. They had some tea together and then went to bed in adjoining rooms. Okay, they had a tea together and they went to bed in adjoining rooms, that is in the nearby room they are going to sleep. Who? Aksinov and the merchant whom he had met on the way. It was not Aksinov's habit to sleep late, and wishing to travel while it was still cool, he aroused his driver before dawn and told him to put in the horses. Okay, so it was not the habit of Aksinov. So Aksinov doesn't have the habit of sleeping for a long time in the morning. So what he is doing is, and also he wants to start the travel when it was still cool, that is during the dawn the climate will be not so hot, it will be cool, so he wants to continue the travel. So he aroused his driver, so he wakes his driver before dawn. Dawn means early morning. So before dawn he is waking up his driver and told him to put in the horses, and he is asking him to get ready the horses because he wants to start his travel towards the fair. Okay. Then he made his way across to the landlord of the inn, paid his bill and continued his journey. Okay, then he made his way across to the landlord. So there will be a owner for that inn. Okay, so he has to pay for staying that night in that inn. So he is going to meet the owner, landlord of the inn. So where he is living, the landlord is living in a cottage at the back. So he was living in a cottage at the back. Who is living in a cottage? Landlord of that inn, that is owner of that inn, is living in a cottage in the back of the inn. Paid his bill. So he had paid the bill. Aksinov is paying the bill for staying that night and continued his journey, and then he is continuing his journey. When he had gone about 25 miles, he stopped for the horses to be fed. So after that he is traveling continuously for 25 miles. So he is stopping his horses to be fed. He had to give food to the horse, so he is stopping the horses on the way. Aksinov rested a while in the passage of the inn. Then he stepped out into the porch and, ordering a samovar to be heated, got out his guitar and began to play. Okay, so when he had Aksinov rested a while in the passage of the inn. So he is taking a rest for a small time in the passage of inn. This is another inn. Okay, then he stepped out into the porch. Then he is stepping down to the veranda portico and ordering a samovar to be heated. So samovar means it is a vessel. It is a urn, a metal urn. Urn means vessel. See, a Russian metal urn for making tea. So urn means vessel. So it is a vessel used for making tea. So he is asking to prepare a tea, got out his guitar and began to play. Then he is taking out his guitar and he began to play some music, because he is we have already seen that he is fond of singing. Suddenly, a troika drove up with tinkling bells and an official alighted, followed by 2 soldiers. So, what is meant by troika? Troika means it is a cart which is driven by 3 horses. That is called as troika. See, this is troika. Okay, it is a Russian cart which is driven by 3 horses. So suddenly a troika drove up with tinkling bells. So he is able to hear the bells from the troika, and an official alighted. So alighted means getting down, followed by 2 soldiers. So that official is followed by, that person is followed by 2 soldiers. He is getting down from the troika. He came to Aksinov and began to question him and asking him who he was and whence he came. Okay, whence means it is a old fashioned word. It means when. So he came to Aksinov, that official followed by the two soldiers. He came near to Aksinov and started questioning him and asked who he was, asking who Aksinov is and when he came and when he had come there. Aksinov answered him fully and said, "Want to have some tea with me?" So Aksinov is explaining everything, that is, he had come, he is on the way to Nizhny Fair and everything he is explaining, and he is asking the official very casually, "Want to have some tea with me? So it will be better if you join a tea with me." But the official went on cross questioning him and asking him. But the official is keeping on cross questioning him, that is, asking more questions to Aksinov. Where did you spend last night? So his next question is, that official's next question is, where did you spend last night? Were you alone or with a fellow merchant? Okay, so did you stay alone or whether did you have any other merchant with you? Did you see the other merchant this morning? So did you see the one other merchant today morning? Why did you leave the inn before dawn? And also, why did you left the inn before dawn? That is, before the early morning, why did you move from the inn? Because what is Aksinov's plan is, before it is getting too hot, he wants to start his journey. But the official is asking all these questions. Where did you come from? Where did you spend the last night? What about the other merchant who stayed with you? And also, why did you see that merchant in the morning? Why did you left the inn before early morning? So he is asking all these cross questions to Aksinov. Aksinov wondered why he was asked all these questions, but he described all that had happened and then added, "Why do you cross question me as if I were a thief or a robber?" Aksinov wondered, so he was surprised why he was asked all these questions. So he was in a surprise, why this official is asking all these questions to me. But he described all that had happened. But he is also describing what all happened in the inn, what all happened on the way, everything he is describing, and then added. And also he is asking, why do you cross question me as if I were a thief or a robber? So why are you asking me all these cross questions as if I was a thief or a robber? Okay, I am traveling on business of my own. So I am traveling for my business and there is no need to question me. There is no need of asking any questions to me. So why do you ask me all these questions as if I were a thief or a robber? Then the official, calling the soldiers, said, "I am the police officer of this district and I question you because the merchant with whom you spent last night has been found with his throat cut. We must search your things." See what happened. The official is calling his soldiers and he is telling, "I am the police officer of this district." Oh, so that official is the police officer. "And I question you." So I am questioning you because the merchant with whom you spent last night. So Aksinov is meeting a merchant on the way, isn't it? So we have seen earlier, Aksinov is meeting a merchant on the way. He is one of the person known to him. To whom? To Aksinov. So the police officer is telling that merchant was found his throat cut. So what happened to that merchant is his throat was cut. We must search your things. So you are the person, Aksinov is the person who stayed with that person. So we want to search all your belongings, all your things. They entered the house. The soldiers and the police officer unstrapped Aksinov's luggage and searched it. Suddenly the officer drew a knife out of a bag, crying, "Whose knife is this?" Okay, so they are starting to search the things of Aksinov. They unstrapped everything. So they are opening all his things and they are searching the luggage of Aksinov. Suddenly the officer drew a knife out of a bag, and suddenly the officer was taking a knife out of a bag and he is asking, Whose knife is this? So he is shouting, whose knife is this? Aksinov looked, and seeing a blood-stained knife taken from his bag, he was frightened. Okay, so Aksinov was just looking at it, and by seeing the blood-stained knife, that knife is full of with blood stains, he was very much afraid. So who was very much frightened? Aksinov was very much frightened to see the knife which was stained with blood. How is it there is blood on this knife? Okay, so he is asking, the official is asking, how blood is stained in this knife. Aksinov tried to answer but could hardly utter a word and only stammered, I don't know, not mine. Then the police officer said, this morning the merchant was found in bed with his throat cut. You are the only person who could have done it. The house was locked from inside and no one else was there. Here is this blood-stained knife in your bag, and your face and manner betray you. Tell me how you killed him and how much money you stole. Okay. Aksinov is trying to answer but could hardly utter a word. He could not speak anything and only stammered. That is, the words are not coming out of his mouth. He is just shivering, stammering. I don't know, not mine. So he is telling, I don't know about the knife, it is not mine. Then the police officer said, this morning the merchant was found in bed with his throat cut. Okay, that merchant who stayed along with Aksinov in the inn, so he was found in the bed with his throat cut. You are the only person who could have done it. So you are the only person who stayed with him, so you might be doing it. The house was locked from inside, and also the house was locked from inside and no one else was there. Nobody else except you was there. Here is this blood-stained knife in your bag, and your face and manner betray you. Okay, so I am, and also we have found the blood-stained knife in your bag, and your face and manner betray you. Okay, so here is this blood-stained knife in your bag, and your face and manner betray you. So உன்னோட பிஹேவியரே நீதான் அந்த தப்பு பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னு ஒன்று காட்டி கொடுக்குது. Tell me how you killed him. So tell me how you had killed that merchant and how much money you stole, and also how much money you had stolen from him. Okay, so hope every one of you have understood till this. Let us continue in the next class.